right, welcome back to another episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. As always, we've got Keith, Chris, Adam, Austin back for the anniversary tonight.
And Alex.
And Alex. I pointed him first. And we have a guest speaker on the line. We got James on the line as well. We're here to talk tonight about the NFC West and what we think our predictions on where everybody's going to stand in the NFC West tonight. Before we get into that, make sure you're subscribing. It really helps us grow the channel, grow the family. It really helps us out a lot. It's free to you. Make sure you're leaving some comments and liking our videos. Even if you leave shit emojis like Chris was talking about last week, we don't really care. You can say what you want.
So we did have a guy this week say, "Hey man, I love the content. Keep it up." So can't remember your name, but really appreciate it.
I can't remember the name.
I gave him a heart.
Hey, this guy deserves more love.
He
does
deserve more
It's
love.
going to be right here.
Yep, we got you.
So,
we got you in
we
this video.
appreciate it.
So,
all right, so look,
we'll start, James, with you being the guest speaker.
And the Rams fan.
And the Rams fan. This is your division.
Bandwagon? Is that up there? Bandwagon?
Who do you have winning, or how do you see the NFC West folding out this season?
Alright, well, we'll start with the bottom feeders. Definitely going to be the Seahawks. I can't see any real way that they're not the bottom team in the division.
Agreed.
Especially with Pete Carroll about to retire.
Right, Pete Carroll is about to retire. Russ is gone. And Geno Smith is not going to lead them to anything.
Is he considered
Six starter?
6 wins is a good season for them.
How many
I
wins?
would have given 6.
6 wins?
6 wins, that's a good season for them. Like, if they get 6 wins, that's a very good season. They outperformed.
Agreed.
But I think they'll be more in the 4-win range.
Okay.
I'm with that.
Fighting for the first overall pick?
Oh.
Yeah, actually, I think they'll try to tank a little bit and get C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young.
I could see that, actually. I could see that playing out.
I mean, it fits the mold that they've had over the past, so I could see that being their strategy moving forward. Then number 3, I'm going to say the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not a believer in Tyler. Haven't been.
But he's got the homework clause and the bedtime clause and the milk time clause.
No video games.
No video games. No video games after 9.
No video games. No new season of Call of Duty when it comes out.
Does anybody get that reference that James just made?
What?
Somebody actually did the analysis on it. His performance drops off every year when the new Call of Duty comes out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, his performance always drops off after like the 8th game anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a coincidence.
It just happens to play out about the same time.
Yeah. All right, James, who's next?
Number 2, it's got to be, as much as I hate them, the 49ers. I mean, we obviously don't know what Trey Lance is going to be. If he's Jimmy Garoppolo, then you know they're going to get 9 wins. Obviously, he's not going to be Jimmy G. So, like, he might take some time to learn. But in a Kyle Shanahan offense that's so run-oriented and just the stable of backs. As a Rams fan, I just hate how good they play us every time.
I was about to say, I think 8 wins is not out of the question for San Fran, but I think a 10-win season for them is a good, or not the Rams, the 49ers. I say 8 wins is like minimum that they get, but I think a 10 to 11-win season for them is a good season this year.
Are we gonna see the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan trying to transform into the Ravens now that they have like this agile quarterback that could possibly run as well?
I don't think they're going to run him as much as Lamar has run in Baltimore, because I don't think he is a Lamar in that sense.
Well,
But he's a lot.
But
He is more mobile than Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's gonna move with Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Big Ben was probably not more.
Yeah.
Ben was just hard. Ben was hard to bring down in his prime.
Yeah. So that leaves the Rams at the top for James.
Of course.
Absolutely. Like, you can't look at the Rams. Yeah, we lost Robert Woods and Von Miller and Austin Corbett off the line, but when you're bringing in Allen Robinson, Bobby Wagner, and let's be real, we're going to get OBJ back.
And
I see no chance that,
So
we should be the first team in that should win that.
I've been hearing a lot of chatter of OBJ getting shipped off to the Bills.
Hey, what about the Tommy John surgery you're gonna have after week 7? I mean, you got a quarterback with a hurt elbow. We saw Big Ben have to do the Tommy John as well. You a little worried about the Stafford maybe blowing his elbow week 7?
Honestly, no. I don't think it's.
So they did a great thing about this. He's what they call it the thrower's elbow. So it's like you have tennis elbow, which is the outside elbow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you got golfer's elbow, which is the inside the elbow. Apparently, thrower's elbow is both.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So I'm kind of with Austin. If they're not careful, he might do some damage.
The big thing that interests me is he's one of your quarterbacks that does not have a solo slot. So he throws here, he throws here. He drops down to a pit like a sidearm, which does a lot of work on your elbow. And it's interesting to see that he has elbow trouble now, being a person who throws from all these different sorts. So I think throwing normal routes, throwing his normal passes, he's going to be fine. It's when he's got to throw around a defender or he's got to do some acrobatic throw, and will it limit his game because he's worried about that? Does he know that's where the
or just takes that one sack?
Yeah. Well, it's being classified as tendonitis right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's considered tendonitis. I mean, that could be an easy to get over. It could be a while. It just depends. But
I feel like that's
one of those things. It's kind of like with Zach Wilson with the bone contusion.
Yeah.
You don't know when it's going to go away. It's going to go away, but you just don't know when.
The bone or the boner contusion.
Yes.
Bone.
Yes. That's like tattoos last year for the Padres with the hurt shoulder.
Yeah.
He was one swing away from just like blowing that shoulder out again. So I mean, it could be like Austin's saying, it could be one of those things where he makes one of those weird sidearm throws and just pops the elbow.
We are also talking about the quarterback that is in the longest unedited clip of NFL film's history, because when he dislocated, separated, blew his shoulder out in the Lions his rookie year, he still went out there and threw the game-winning touchdown because he wasn't going to let Culpepper go out there and throw it.
Well, didn't they pop it back into place?
No.
And then he threw it?
He threw it and then immediately collapsed on the ground. It was like,
it's out!
So James, what's your prediction? 13-4, 14-3.
Are we going back to back?
15-2? Like, how big are you on the rim?
I think, naturally, you're the Super Bowl champ. You're going to have a really tough schedule. I think, realistically, it's probably 12-5. I think we'll be kind of sitting where we were last year. With how we play the Niners, God willing, this is the year that we don't lose to them, but, just
it
based
happens.
off the past 3-4 years, they were at least going to probably lose one.
Yeah, I agree. The 49ers always give y'all a good game every year.
Always. And it's frustrating. But, it's just, there's some, it's kind of like South Carolina's schedule. It's tough. So, you can't expect to go undefeated. You're going to show up one day, you're just not going to be the better team out there. So,
Agreed.
I think 12-5, maybe 13-4, but I can't really see us hitting anything higher. Obviously, I would love to see us hit higher. Just, I don't think that in today's NFL, it's kind of tough to be going 15-2. That'd be really crazy to see.
Yeah.
I guess last time we saw a team only lose twice, like the Chiefs and the Ravens a couple years back.
Yeah, the Chiefs went 14-2, 2 years ago?
Yeah. Something like that.
It was like Mahomes said.
They were 14-1 going into week 16, and they didn't play anybody and lost.
Yeah.
So, because they had everything locked up.
Was that the year they lost to Tampa in the Super Bowl? Or was that the year they won it?
That was the year they won.
I think it was the year they won it.
Yeah. They were on the road. Yeah.
Okay. Who's next?
I'll go next. So, I do agree with James. I think Seattle's going to be at the very bottom. I think they'll be lucky to win 4 games all year. This is, we are talking about Geno Smith of 2022, not Geno Smith of 2007 where he scored on Clemson every other play.
Yeah.
So, this isn't the same Geno Smith from 15 years ago.
I mean, hey, kudos to him for hanging around.
Oh
so
no,
long.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Best shot in the world,
but-
quarterback.
But yeah, but
He's
so,
competing with someone else too, isn't he?
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock.
Lock.
He's not competing with anybody.
Fantastic quarterback
Geno
options.
Smith's going to be there.
Well, they actually haven't committed to him yet. Is what I was going to get to. Geno started this first preseason game, but they've said that Drew will start the second, and they're just going to continue to rotate.
See who
him out,
goes,
so, yeah.
So he's got the hot hand essentially.
Yeah.
But I also agree. I think Arizona is going to be in that that third, second to last position. I don't think they've improved enough on the offensive side. So
D-Hop has a 6-game suspension as well.
Yep.
Yeah, D-Hop is
You
out
have
for
to
6
throw
games.
that in the front.
So
Is he also coming off a knee injury?
No.
well, and they lost Chase Edmonds too. So Chase Edmonds is out. Is out
He
of
was
offense.
Yep.
coming off an injury. but
And
it wasn't-
they lost Christian Kirk.
Yeah, and Christian Kirk went to Jacksonville for $80 million.
Dumbest
Age 2.
Again, why Jacksonville sucks. but
Exactly.
Very bad.
So second, I'm going to put the 49ers. I think their defense is going to keep them in games. I do think it's a toss up between the quarterbacks as far as how Trey Lance is going to perform if he gets the start, how he's going to perform.
That he is the week 1 starter.
They've already
It is
announced it.
confirmed,
Okay.
yes.
So I mean, it's gonna be, can he step up to the big time and be in that role in a big market like that? And I think the Rams obviously will win the division. I don't know if they repeat. I do like the 12-5 record. I think they've got a bunch of tough games in their schedule this year between playing the Bills. They got to play Tampa. They got to play. Who else did I show you? The Bills, Tampa,
Chiefs,
They got to play the Chiefs. They got to play Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay, we don't know how they're going to be yet, but
Raiders.
they got to play the Raiders and the Chiefs back to back. So I mean, I think they're going to have a tough schedule. Obviously, they're going to have a tougher schedule this year. So I think they're going to be in that 11-6, 12-5 range, but they're still going to win the division.
Okay.
I'm going along similar lines. I think Seattle's a 4-win team this year. I do think Drew Lock ends up winning out that job, which is probably worse for Seattle, and they probably would be better with Geno Smith. For me, I think both of these teams are very close. I'm going to take the 49ers in third at, I'll call it 9 wins, and the Cardinals in second at 10 wins. So I think they're really, really
I
close.
swear to God, he was just reading my mind. That was literally the numbers I just felt on.
Yeah. But I'm with you as well. I really don't think that the Rams actually, it could be 11 wins or 12 wins. I think it's a pretty close between those three. I do think the Rams are the better team. Just that hard schedule. I mean, Chiefs, Raiders, who are going to be good this year.
They open up against the Bills.
Open up against the Bills. You got to go play at Tampa.
They got to play Dallas too.
They got to play Dallas, who I'm
And
big
I
on.
think we end with the Chargers. I think that's a week 17.
Actually, I've got it here. You end with Seattle. You play the Chargers on New Year's Day.
Yeah. So
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you're at Green Bay in December.
yeah.
That's a
So-
lot.
Yeah, and that part I don't get
Oh,
because
it is.
we have played Green Bay 3 times in a row now in Green Bay. I don't know when Green Bay is going to come out to LA.
Y'all were doing a 3-3 stint, I thought.
Yeah.
Right after Aaron Rodgers retired.
I don't think Green Bay's a threat because Aaron Rodgers had to clean out the house to get his money. So
Yeah. So, but
The
that's where
Chiefs is at Arrowhead too.
that's where I fall on the Rams. I do think they win the division. I think it's a lot closer 1-3 than people realize.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So yeah, I'm gonna say Seattle's gonna be around that 4 to 5 loss, not 4 to 5
losses.
wins.
That's
Sorry, not 4 to 5 loss. 4 to 5 wins. You're gonna start to hear a lot more rumors about Pete Carroll getting old and wanting to retire. I mean, he was old when he was at Southern Cal.
He was the only one who went to Seattle.
Yeah, so I mean, it's about time for him to go, especially with everybody just kind of like the teams falling apart. The puzzle is starting to crumble. Like it's starting to crumble into different pieces.
Yeah.
I do think the 49ers will get rid of Jimmy G for something, but I think Trey Lance's first year will not go to plan, and the 49ers are going to look dumb, finish with 9 wins in third place, and then. You think it's too many?
Not me. That's him.
That's awesome.
You'll
That's
hear
awesome.
it. You'll
Side
hear
talking.
You'll hear it in a minute. You'll hear it.
Sidebar.
It's bold. What's coming out of my mouth is bold.
And then obviously Arizona, I think Kyler Murray's going to do a little bit better than everyone expects. I think he's going to go on a revenge tour, as I'm calling it. So I'm going to say
He's gonna play against.
I think it might be 10 to 11, really like an 11. And then obviously the Rams winning. just the schedule, man, it's so tough. So I'm probably going to say 12 wins as well. And I think they're going to make a deep run and possibly go back to back.
Wow.
All right, so I think this division was the best division in football last year, and I think they might be the fourth best division this year.
Probably.
I think there's going to be big steps down. I think 3 wins for Seattle max. There's no way they get more than 3. I think they are part of that team that's going to start tanking, and I could actually see Pete Carroll being gone after week 8. I think he steps away from the team. However, he leaves in a positive way, but I think his seat's going to get very hot through that first 8 games. Secondly, I have the 8-8 Sanford.
8-1.
8-1.
Oh yeah, they're
That's 17 now.
8-9.
There you go.
San Francisco 49ers. I don't think Trey Lance is the guy. I just don't.
Yeah.
I think they would be well off with Jimmy G. The consistency is there. He wins football games. It's the same.
I think it's going to bite them in the butt, not actually giving them a true competition. They just committed hard to Trey.
They want the run aspect, but the throwing aspect is a big part of that game. And I think Trey's youngness, inconsistency, I think you're going to see a lot of picks over the middle, high balls, tip balls over the middle. It's going to really
It's
hurt
like
them.
Cam Newton.
Yep, I think he does fit the Cam Newton build a little more. Huge arm, upside, can run the ball, so on the accuracy, and that's just what I don't like about him. So I'm going 8-9 for them. I think the Cardinals win 10 games and compete with the Rams for first in the division. I don't think the Rams win more than 11 games. 11's the max for them. I really do. I think 10's the number where I would consistently say they're going to have 10 wins. I think the Cardinals going to be right there. I'm not surprised the Cardinals start the season 7-2 though. Even without DeAndre Hopkins, they're a hot starting team. It's just what they do. They slump off towards the end of the year, but I mean the last 3 years they've opened.
Yeah, they started
They
out
went on a
last year
7-0, 8-0 run last
Yeah,
year.
and the year before that I think they were like 6-1. They start the year off hot.
They were good early to mid-season team.
I'm telling you, you want a first bet? Opening week, whoever they're playing, take them. Money, straight up, whatever you want to take them. Because they just started off. And I think the Rams have a little bit of that postseason, have a little bit of that partying too much. You now have Stafford hurt.
The Bengals.
You now have Darnold, who has openly admitted that he sees the light at the end of the tunnel, that he might be on his way out. And how do you take a guy that's a ruthless guy, destroying people on the offensive line, and now he's got conversations of, hey, I might be ready to hang it up. I just think there's going to be a lot of...
How do you get him back in that mentality?
I think there's going to be a lot of kind of laid back, relaxedness. The division's kind of gotten a little weaker this season. I don't think they win more than 11 games. I really don't.
Yeah, and that mentality of the already thinking about the end of being like this, I might be done here. That is the moment you have those thoughts, you've lost the battle.
Yeah.
So that's going to play a big factor in like how fierce and the fire that he's got.
And a war in the trenches with a big man that has been ruthless his whole career.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about.
So I agree with everybody. Seattle's bottom of the barrel. 5 wins tops. And I think 5 wins tops. 2 and 3 could literally come down to one game, being between San Fran and the Cardinals. But I am going to go San Fran at 3 because of them putting this pressure on a rookie, quote-unquote, QB and Trey Lance. Going 8-9, Cardinals are going 9-8, and that deciding game is going to be that head-to-head matchup on whoever wins that second game there, I think is what gives you the 9 win or that 8 or that 9th loss. Whichever way it happens to fall, that's how close I see those 2 games going, or those 2 teams being it 8-9 and 9-8, and then I see the Rams getting it done and winning 12 games.
Okay.
So I think it's a lot closer at 2 and 3 than it is between 1, 2, and 3. I think the Rams have enough firepower and enough just on the defensive side with reloading with a couple key pieces like Bobby Wagner. But then you add in an Allen Robinson who is a decent receiver. He's just unfortunately been on a bad team, in Chicago and this, that, and the other. And so, and that replaces your Robert Woods. Like, you didn't downgrade by getting Allen Robinson.
You probably upgraded.
Yeah, you say you're...
I I don't like that take.
But either way, so I mean,
Yeah.
I'll put him on the same level. You know, he's a B plus receiver to fit in that up. He needs to be a role player because they got their guys, and I think they can figure it out. But I think though it is a tough schedule, I think they have the grit and they find ways to win games. With that being said, Stafford has to stay healthy for that.
Yeah, you were flirting.
You agree. You are flirting with disaster if Stafford gets hurt. But if he stays healthy for the season, I could see them winning 12 wins. And you're going to have a couple of those games that are going to be grind outs. You might, it might even be overtime games that you have to grind out a possession or two, or it comes down to a last second, fourth quarter stop, and that your defense has got to step up.
Well, here's the other thing. If you're 10-2, right?
They can always call Sam Bradford out of retirement.
Well, you're 10-2, right? And you're pretty much locked up the division. Say everybody else is like 7-5, right? You got a 3-game lead in the division. Do you rest Stafford?
Possibly, but
So like that.
but then I mean now you're just asking to pull out 2 games over the next 5.
I know. I think that's a lot. I think there's a lot of head games that are going on with the Rams that kind of hangover after a Super Bowl. It always happens. The players seeing their way out. I mean, you look at a guy like Stafford again. Sucked on a sucky team his whole life. Finally proves himself. Year 1. Like, I wouldn't have been shocked if Stafford walked off the field
And said I'm done right then and there.
after that.
Totally.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Was it John Elway that did that?
Yeah,
Like,
like,
while on the stage getting the Lombardi, John Elway was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, oh, I'm out." By the way,
I mean,
yeah.
he's written everything that he has wanted to write in his life. I mean, I just think there's too much. I think they're settled. I think they've settled. I think they've gotten what they want, and I'm worried that they're not going to get it back up until week 7.
They need that little blue pill to get it back up.
Hey, they might need a blue pill.
This is how you know Austin took their win over this season. They took their wins total.
I would
So
not.
By the way, Arizona opened up against
The
Kansas
Chiefs.
City.
Arizona, week 1, money line. Put it in.
They're gonna beat Kansas City.
you want
They're
it?
going to beat Kansas City.
Plus
and
135.
take the damn over.
I might take
the
over's not a bad bet.
53 and a half. Take it over. Take it over.
Ocean Bubble took the under.
Well,
Yeah.
that's our predictions on the NFC West. Please let us know what you think in the comments. Tell us if we think you're dumb, if we're dumb.
If you think you're dumb, tell us.
Tell us that.
If you think you're dumb and you want to talk about it, we're here to talk about it. We'll walk you through that. Yeah, we'll
We'll have a therapy session next week.
If you think Seattle's winning more than
3
LA, more than LA, you might need to see some options.
Yeah.
But that is
That's the Pacific Division.
yeah,
No.
yeah,
Pacific Division.